I have something. I have a Google account. Do you have a Google account? Yes? And you? Do you have a Google account? Yeah? And you in the back? Do you have a Google account? And you? Do you have a Google account? Yes? Well, then let me tell you something. If you have Google, you have Safe. You maybe just didn't know, but we will see that today. So we are going to talk about enabling smart account portability with SafeAuth. This is the logo of SafeAuth, our new product. And we have created a formula that is very cool, and I hope it's easy to understand, that you'll see why this design. So SafeAuth, it's equal safe, you see that some similarities, plus Web3 auth. Well, in reality, it's not just a sum, but a multiplication, because the sum, the final product is much better than the sum of both of them. But first of all, I have some questions for you. First of all, do you know what Safe is? Can you raise your hand if you know about Safe? Okay. Well, Safe is a smart account protocol. We are trying to build a universal smart account standard. Safe is used by a lot of DAOs and companies to manage their treasuries, also by individuals, and it's on individuals what we want to focus nowadays, especially with this solution, SafeAuth. Also, the second question, do you know what Web3 auth is? Can you raise your hand if you know about them? Okay. Web3 auth is leading the wallet as a service provider. They have an MPC, multi-party computation solution, that allow users with a social login like email or Google account or Facebook or whatever to generate an EOA, creating a seamless experience. And the final question is, do you know what SafeAuth is? Can you raise your hand? Okay, very cool. We are going to talk about this today. So let's start with some context from Safe, as this is a collaboration between Safe and Web3 auth. I'm from Safe. I'm Germán. I think I didn't introduce myself. So some context about this. We have the Safe Core Account Abstraction SDK that has 4 libraries or kits: the auth kit, the protocol kit, the on-ramp kit, and the relay kit. All of them together will create a more familiar experience for users that are coming from Web2 world. So with the auth kit, first of all, for each of these kits, we decided to go with a third-party provider that supports the functionality for each of them. So the auth kit allows to logging. So users, via their social login, can create an externally owned account. Protocol kit offers or expose the safe functionality. If you want to deploy a safe, or if you want to execute a safe transaction, all that kind of tasks. The on-ramp kit allows to fund a safe, an account with fiat, and transform that into crypto. And the relay kit will allow to execute transactions without the signers of the safe. They don't need to have gas to execute these transactions. A relay can execute that for them. So now let's imagine a situation where a user that has no wallet and no crypto goes into an application that is, let's say, an NFT marketplace with a shopping cart where they can add NFTs to the shopping cart and buy them, but they don't have nothing. How all these kits would help them if you integrate this in your app. The auth kit will allow them to type their email, for example, generate an EOA. Also, we can calculate a safe address based on this EOA, because it will be deployed later in a deterministic way. Then the protocol kit behind the scenes will create a batch transaction after the user selects all the NFTs they want to purchase. This batch transaction will contain, first, a transaction that will deploy the safe, and second, all the transactions, if there are multiple, to buy the NFTs from the safe. Then the on-ramp kit will allow users to fund their non-existent safe until that moment and fund this address. So they will be able to purchase the assets later. And finally, the relay kit will allow to execute the dispatch transaction, deploying the safe, and executing all the next transactions to buy the NFTs. And regarding the fees, they could be sponsored by the relay itself, or they could be extracted from the safe. This is what we had initially. The third-party providers we are using for them are Web3 Auth for logging, Stripe and Monerium for on-ramp, and Gelato for relay. In the future, we may have more kits like recovery, multi-chain kit, and well, whatever comes. You can find this in the repo Safe Core SDK in the Safe Global organization on GitHub. These are the NPM packages, but now we want to focus on the auth kit, which is the one that contains the SafeAuth pack, the one we are showing today. So what is SafeAuth? SafeAuth is the first easy-to-use portable smart account solution. SafeAuth is a new NPC product that is developed between Safe and Web3 Auth that will allow safes to be portable between different applications using social logging. So what are the key features and benefits? The first of all is the deterministic address generation using this, the same social logging. So until now, if you use Web3 Auth directly, you'll see that if you connect to different accounts, a different EOA will be generated for each of them. So in the end, you will end up with assets distributed in different accounts, and that it's a bit difficult to track. And then if these accounts deploy safes, it will be, well, a little bit difficult to track. So SafeAuth allows to generate EOAs deterministically. That, as a result, will means that wherever application you are logged in, you'll see always the same safe. On top of that, our official frontend, the Safe Wallet, is compatible with SafeAuth, so you can log in with your email, with your Gmail. That's why if you got Google, you got Safe. And you will be able to track all your history of activity that you did on different applications. Also, SafeAuth supports multi-factor authentication, and it's flexible because it allows developers to choose which methods they want to use, like SMS OTP or an authentication app or whatever. And also, SafeAuth is built on Safe, meaning that is future-proofed and modular, as you don't need to deploy a new safe if a new functionality comes to the market. You can just enable that new module or whatever. So let's see some code on how to use SafeAuth. There are some steps. First of all, you would need to install the SafeAuth kit that is inside the auth kit. Then you have to create the SafeAuth pack instance. You can sign in or sign out as a user. You can get the provider that the MPC solution returns. You can create a safe account. You can sign and execute safe transactions. And you can sign messages from the EOA. So to begin with, installing the SafeAuth kit, you can just type in the console npm or yarn install and the name of the package. Then to create an instance of the SafeAuth pack, if you go to the last two lines, you'll see that we are initializing or creating an instance of the SafeAuth pack, and then we are initializing it by calling the init method and passing some configuration, some options, which are this object here. If you see, for example, the chain config, you'll see inside some information about the network you are connected to, the name of the native token, the RPC URL, the blockchain, the block explorer, etc. Then as a user, if you want to sign in with your email and get this pop-up open so you can select your Google account, that could be opened by calling the SafeAuth pack instance.signin, that method. And this will return an object with two properties, EOA, which is the one returned by the MPC provider, the signer, and then a list of safes in case this signer already is an owner of any kind of safe. Then the developers would be able to decide which safes they want to select. As a user, if you want to sign out, just SafeAuthPack.signout. You can get the provider from the MPC, SafeAuthPack.getProvider. And here, one of the most important things, you can create a safe account. If we go from the bottom to the top, I think that will be easier to follow. At the very end, we see a console log. The safe has been created by calling safe.getAddress. But how do we get that safe? In the previous line, we see that we are calling the safe factory.deploySafe with some configuration. That configuration is the threshold, which is 1 in this case, and the list of owners, the signers. Here, we want to use the EOA we got from the MPC. So we are calling SafeAuth sign in response.eoa. That will be the address. How do we get the safe factory to deploy this safe? In the previous line, we see that we are calling safefactory.create passing an ETH adapter. This ETH adapter is just a wrapper of the libraries Ethers.js or Web3.js, depending on what you are using on your application. This ETH adapter, we can get it by calling the Ethers adapter class, passing, in this case, an instance of Ethers and a signer. This signer, if we go to the previous line, we see that we are getting from provider.getSigner, and this provider, in the first line, we are getting it from the SafeAuth pack.getProvider. So that's how we deploy a safe where the signer is the EOA from the MPC, from Web3Auth. After that, we can execute transactions and sign them previously. So with this signer and the ETH adapter, and also the safe address that we get from the array of safes, and here is where the developer can choose the one to display or to use. And at the very end, we initialize an instance of the protocol kit, if you remember, the one that is exposing the safe functionality. So for that, we need to pass the ETH adapter and the safe address. Now we need to create the transaction object. So we can build an object with the properties to value and data. Here is just a random transaction from the safe to the signer, but whatever you need to execute. Then we call the protocol kit dot create transaction, and we pass this transaction object. Then we need to sign the transaction, so we can call the protocol kit dot sign transaction, and we pass the safe transaction. And this will return the TX object that we need to pass to the execute transaction method. If you want to sign messages with Web3 or Ethers, not from the safe, but from the signer you got from the MPC, you can initialize your Web3 instance or Ethers, we will see later, with the provider from the MPC, and then call the methods to sign a message or sign a transaction or send a transaction. So very similar with Ethers. Now, if we have some time for a quick demo, you'll see that in the Safe Core SDK package on GitHub, in the folder packages, in the folder authkit, in the folder example, you'll see some code you can execute locally. And it looks something like this, where you can have a login button that will show this pop-up where you can sign in with your email, with your Google account. Let's see how the internet connection goes. Here it will ask for my email. This is also compatible with the Safe Wallet. So later you can see here what is your activity.
On that, it works, but
okay. I clicked the wrong button.
I just see me on that paragraph.
My fault. You'll see that this is very dependent on the connection, the speed.
Like, there's that down there.
And now in the website, in the application, we will see on the left a list of RPC methods that the MPC is providing that you can execute. On the right side, there will be a console where the response for these RPC calls will be shown. You'll see here on the left side, on the top, the signer account that is generated from the provider. And in the middle, you'll see if there is any safe that belongs to this signer. This is taking too long because of the connection. Now it's going. It will load in a bit. Okay, so here you see that from my email account on the top right is saying hello Herman, because it's information I have on Google. Then here is showing my EOA, the signer. I don't have any safe deployed here, but you can do some RPC calls to get the user info or the accounts that I have, or the chain ID, whatever. If we connect to a different network like Gurley, you'll see that with the same EOA, I do have a deployed safe that belongs to this signer. So it should load. Well, I guess you can try it by yourself. I will continue with the slides, and then if we have more time. So for the hackathon about this, we have the Safe Ecosystem Foundation has 10K up for grabs, and we have 3 different tracks. The first one is related with this SDK, the Safe Core Account Abstraction SDK. We have two prices of 2K each. At least you would need to integrate 2 of these kits with a special mention, and we encourage you to use the SafeAuth pack. The second track is related with the Safe Core protocol, 2 prices of 2K each, integrating or implementing any part of the Safe Core protocol with plugin, hooks, the manager, the registry. And the last one is a collaboration with Pimlico. We have a Safe 4337 module that you can plug into your safe and execute with using the Pimlico infrastructure. They also have an SDK called permissionless.js. There's information in our docs and on their site as well. We have a hackathon success guide with some learning materials, past workshops and hackathon ideas. If you want to check it, feel free to scan this QR code. Okay. And then these are our docs, docs.safe.global, Discord, forum, Twitter @safe. So thank you very much. And just one quick check here. Yes, now it loaded. We see that on Gurley, this EOA has a safe account. And now if I can try to, on Gurley, to connect on the official with the same email, you'll be able to, well, I guess the internet is not working properly, but you will be able to access to your same safe. So thank you very much for attending.